All right, so day 4 of having Fat Tony, day 2 of trying to get this thing started. We're going to have to dig a little bit deeper to figure out our spark issue. So what we're gonna do is pop the cap off the top of the distributor. We went ahead and took the distributor cap off, but the cap that goes above the points and the condenser and all that stuff. So what we're gonna do is just deep dive into our spark issue, because we weren't getting spark in the last wheel at start. I haven't uploaded it yet, but I'm about to. And hopefully you guys leave some comments with some common issues this truck has. But for me and him, the most we can think it could probably be is our points probably off. So we're gonna check those right now on camera. We haven't looked at them yet. And the condenser and points are usually like 10 bucks. So it'd be really cheap to replace the points and the condenser on this thing to see if that gives us spark consistently, because right now we're not getting spark consistently. This is a 1976 Ford F-600 with a 330 V8 in it. And we gotta get this thing started. Oh yeah. First of all, we don't even have a gap with our points, like zero gap at all. Maybe a little gap, but it's just so much corrosion right there where our points are. We're gonna have to get a file and clean this off. Put a screwdriver right there and see if we're getting any spark at our points. Condenser probably could be replaced. The rotor I just took off.
The rotor, I think it needs to be replaced.
Yeah, the rotor we're probably just going to have to replace as well. Take this up to the part store and try to one-for-one swap it, because we don't really know what distributor. I think it's a Motorcraft 1201 or something like that. The markings I can barely read off the side of the distributor. It's like right there somewhere, but it's just so old. I can barely read it. But we're going to see if we can clean off these points a little bit and not have to replace the points. I went to clean these points and man, they're so dirty. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell from that angle, but look how much crap we're getting off these points, guys. So much crap. So much corrosion and dirt. Like there's dirt all in this thing. So hopefully this was just our problem. We can just clean the points and hopefully they're already gapped. They feel tight. Hopefully with cleaning these things, they'll gap properly. And we can just fire this bad boy up right here in a couple minutes. We think our rotor might be bad, but it might not be. Everything looks tight with our power and our ground here going to the points. Our power's coming straight, or that's our negative right here. It's coming straight from the coil. And of course it's gonna start raining right now. Right when my concrete guys pull up. I'm actually making a shop video the same day. My concrete guys just pulled up, so if you guys are trying to see some concrete work get done, stay tuned for that video. Allstate Concrete, shout out to them, really good crew. They're about to get started right now, but that'll be in another video, because we're getting a 50 by 40 slab and a 50 by 40 building built out back. So stay tuned for that if you guys want to see a shop be built, because we're going to start working in the shop and not outside, because look, it's raining right now.
We don't literally just sunny and then it started raining. That's Alabama.
Welcome to the South. That's just the South. Just took some sandpaper and that file and cleaned up these points and blew all and just kind of cleaned up around our distributor. Now what I just did was tested if I had power to the coil now, which I do. Well, I don't now, but I'm getting fire here now with the key on, which is good. So this is my ignition. Here, you mind holding this? What? Look at you drinking Natty Light again. Nasty Light.
Triple piston, dude.
Where's the Natty Heavy? Is the Natty Heavy in stock
it's
too?
At the store still.
Oh, okay. All right, so we got ignition power now with the ignition on, which we didn't have before, so that's a start. And then if I take my power and put it up to my ignition coil, and our points are here, I'll record it. Points should be sparking now.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't doing that before.
nope. If I can even see that. There you go. You can see that. I don't want to fry it up, but you guys can get the point. So, man, I think this thing will start now.
Think so?
Yeah. So, just like our friend Mike always says, it's always them points.
It's gonna be them points.
Always them points. So on this truck, we were like, you know, we'll just throw some plugs in it, throw some wires, then it should start up. It was only sitting for 10 years. Nope, still them points. Still them points. It's always the points. Which I haven't read your guys' comments on the last video yet, but I'm sure y'all are probably saying that too. Which we talked about it, but we knew we didn't have new points.
Yeah.
But I think just cleaning them up may do it. The concrete guys just left they just framed up the concrete. So that video will be out. That'll be a different video. Won't be in this one. I'm making a whole shop build series so that if people just want to see straight shop stuff, they can see straight shop stuff and they don't have to be annoyed by it. By watching what they want to, they come in for truck videos. They don't, sometimes people don't want to see the shop building stuff. All right, so hey, this thing should fire up, man. Should fire up. What if this thing just immediately just starts up? Just immediately, like doesn't even.
That'd be a miracle.
That would be a miracle.
How many days did it take to get Mater to start? A couple
like
days.
4 or 5, something like that.
It's only the second day.
Yeah.
Which we really didn't even do anything except for cleaning the points and plug wires.
If this doesn't work, I think we just need to run to, instead of Advanced, we go to O'Reilly's this time and just get a new condenser, new points, and new cap. We'll just bring all the old parts with us so we can make sure they fit. All right, so we got to figure this situation out. We probably got to rerun this wire, but it touching should give it significant, you know, a little bit of power. I might have to cut this and do an eyelet or something. That honestly may be a problem right there.
No, because my
it just not being tight enough for a connection.
My fuel gauge wire that runs to my fuel tank, it's the same way as the press on, and it works.
Yeah, but it's not tight though. I can like barely touch it and it moves. May have to. I mean, I can like stick it in the corner and it's a little tight, but it's still moving a little bit. Alrighty. So our battery is a little too low, I guess. That's still way too low. We're gonna have to charge this battery up. Our spare battery is at your house in Frank.
Yeah.
So, we'll get it. We'll get this battery charged up real quick, and we'll get back after it. This jump box should.
Spinning a lot faster than it was before.
It's spinning pretty quick. When we tried this.
I should have brought my starting fluid.
Yes, you should have.
Got no juice in it.
Yeah, let's pull a plug and see if we're getting fire. Because what may happen in this, or just when you hold that, see if we're getting fire from there.
Yeah.
Getting fire?
Yeah.
Let's pull a plug wire and see if it's sending it. Because if it's not sending it, then we know something's wrong with something inside of our distributor. No. What in the hell? What in the hell? Getting sparked to our points. Our points are sparking. Unless it's that rotor or somehow the condenser. I mean, I don't. Did you see that right?
Yeah,
our
that's all the
points?
sparks.
What the hell? It's not even acting like it wants to send spark to the plugs. Unless that plug is just bad. I mean, I'll go get a new plug, but it should at least start up and
Not that much.
misfire. It probably just misfire.
These plugs honestly aren't even bad, unless you clean this one off.
Next up is going to Vance or O'Reilly's and getting a new rotor and stuff. But oh, this came off. Did that just come off just now? That not being tight is probably a problem. Because let's fix that real quick.
Yeah, it just fell off as soon as you took your hand off of it.
Yeah, let's fix it. Turn the ignition off real quick. Ready?
Yeah.
You got spark?
Yeah, it shocked me too.
It shocked you? It hurt like a motherfucker?
No, it is a little shock. Call me Sparky.
Yeah, you sparky. So I mean, if we're getting spark here, maybe all of our, unless every single plug is bad, could be. It was sitting in the woods, all that moisture and rain, and
maybe.
Alrighty guys, so we just got back to the house. It's dark now, but we picked up a new condenser, new rotor, and new distributor cap for the truck, as well as a couple other things like starter fluid and some eyelets for our connectors on our ignition coil, because the last one I had I just broke. But there's the starter fluid, eyelets, got a couple new pliers, new razor blades. This is the new distributor cap. Just went with all Master Pro for the most part. It's what O'Reilly's had. So that's the exact one. Last time we didn't have the exact one. That's the old rotor, which is kind of like messed up a little bit. Yeah, that's the one we initially got that came back as the exact fit, but it definitely wasn't the exact fit.
You see how high that is?
Yeah. So we got the new one now. This is the new rotor. That's the old rotor right there. So we got a new cap, new rotor. We tried to get new points for it, but they didn't have the points in stock. So we're gonna have to order the points if it does need points. This is the new condenser, which isn't an exact fit, but it's pretty close. It's a little bit smaller, but it's pretty close to the other one. So we're hoping that those three things get us going. We think it will.
I think the main thing was either going to be the points were sparking, so we know that we're getting
Fire at the points.
I think what I think would be the rotor and the cap just weren't making a good connection.
I do think. I think the rotor and the cap is definitely probably the biggest issue, and then condenser. While we were there, we might as well replace the condenser, so we did. So new condenser, new rotor, new distributor cap. We're gonna throw that on real quick. See if it starts. I think it's gonna start. I think it's gonna start now. If not, we got a fuel issue with the carburetor not sending fuel.
I think it's gonna have a fuel issue because
if it runs off that starter fluid for a second, we know it's something with fuel. So we'll catch up with you guys here in a minute. We're gonna throw this on. Sit tight. Fixing to fire Fat Tony up, and he should crank. I don't see why he wouldn't.
I think if it doesn't, it's just no fuel is getting to the carburetor. Because when we
yeah, we learned our lesson with Mater though. If we don't have to touch the carb, we don't want to touch the carb. If we don't absolutely have to touch it, we don't want to touch it. But if we have to touch it, we will touch the carb. That's why we got starter fluid to see if it is a fuel issue. Because when he's pulling the throttle cable, yeah, no fuel is shooting
out, so.
Of that jet.
I don't know if it's
in the carburetor.
If it's just not priming, the fuel pump isn't pushing fluid. Or
the jets could be just clogged.
Fuel.
The jets.
The lines could be clogged. I don't really know unless I take off the carburetor and take it apart, but we don't have a rebuild kit if we do need one.
The gaskets would leak for sure if we go to take this thing apart right now. So we're gonna try to not touch it if we don't have to. So let's turn the ignition key on. Let's see if it cranks up. Our battery's been charging. So our battery's been charging up. Take this light.
Put this light back on
The rust
holes.
Yeah, we got these are official holes here, guys. These are factory, from the factory on both sides. So
homemade light hanger right there.
Oh yeah.
Or nature's made light hanger.
So we will turn the light all the way up so that we can see.
I don't know if you can see in there with the camera, but when we push on the throttle, there's no fluid shooting.
Put the light a little right over it.
There's no gas shooting.
Yeah.
So
it's finna be them points.
It's finna be them points and that carburetor.
Yeah.
I was thinking about breaking a fuel line, but I don't have my fuel line kit or the wrenches to take that off, and you don't want to round them out. So
we could just do like we've been doing with Mater and just run that external fuel pump, but it's not even here. Mater's not even here right now. Yeah. Mater's at the shop getting work done. All right, so I don't know, boys. Let's hook it up. Is the ignition on?
No.
All right. It should crank over pretty quick. Grab the old master key. Sweet.
Better watch out, dude. You got roaches in there.
Yeah. And plutonium roaches. Some plutonium
rat.
Some plutonium rats and plutonium roaches. Alright, give her a little juice. Alright. Oh! Started right up, dude! Started right up. Started right up. Water pump, maybe?
Something's leaking. Got a vacuum leak or something.
That does sound like a big leak. I hit my head on this light.
It's definitely a fuel issue. We might have to take that carburetor apart.
Let's yeah, because it stopped running immediately, didn't it?
Yeah.
So it's just not getting any fuel. Dude, the light. Our homemade freaking nature-made hanger is not working that good. I keep knocking it off.
Hey, but she cranked up.
Hey, she cranks.
If you got fuel, she cranks.
Hey, it was them points. It was them points. No matter what the solving issue, it's always them points.
Well, we
100% of the time.
So I don't know if there's
it's still the points. Even though we didn't replace them, it's still the points. Just know it's them points. Give us some juice. Alright guys, I'm gonna set you all up right here. I kinda gotta use both my hands. I gotta try to trace this vacuum leak. So we don't have a third person to film right now.
Just spin that terminal.
So y'all gonna be set up right here, but I'm just gonna hit the solenoid and he's gonna keep it running for a second and see if we can trace this vacuum leak, because it definitely has a vacuum leak, and we're gonna see if we can somehow build fuel pressure, because right now we've got none. It doesn't look like. So let's try it one more time.
I don't want to use too much because this stuff is really harsh on.
Yeah. Let's see if we can use a little bit of gas. We can run off. Bottle feed it?
I mean,
don't know.
You got 4 bolts right here if you want to take this part of the carburetor off, and you'll be able to see the bowl and see if there's any. You could fill the bowl up.
The float should be right under here.
Yeah.
All right, boys, we're gonna take this carburetor apart and see why it's not letting us shoot any fuel when we push our throttle, and see if we can. Gosh dang! Hit that freaking light again. We're gonna take this carburetor apart and check back over here in a second once we get it apart and see if we can find our issues, whether we got a clogged jet or a stuck float. We'll figure it out and catch back over to you here in a second. So hold tight. You rolling? Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, you got some bad fuel in there.
Oh my gosh, dude. Hold on.
Yeah, the choke is still connected.
Yeah, we'll just spit it off like that.
So
that is dirty AF, man.
Dude, there's so much gunk down in there.
Our float is that's just old fuel. That's not even new fuel. Oh my gosh, dude.
Dude, what?
This is all on the bottom, just gelled up fuel.
I bet you those jets are clogged.
Gotta be, man. Gotta be clogged. I mean, check that out, dude. We're gonna have to take this completely apart and let it sit overnight. It's not shooting anything, is it?
No.
Oh my
Yeah, you're gonna have to take that off. But damn, look at that.
That's disgusting. Alright, well, y'all see where we're at with this. We thought we were gonna get away with not having to rebuild a carburetor. Not this time. Not ever. Never works out that way. But it does crank. Think if we can clean this carb up, get our jets clean, get our float unstuck, and just clean it to where it's not going to get seized up again. I think we'll be alright. Trying to disconnect. That's disconnected there. Top piece of our carburetor's
Pull off
off.
that vacuum advance.
Persuasion. Have to take off this choke cable.
Yeah, take off this too.
There it goes. Alright, y'all, so this is the top piece of the carburetor where our choke is, and you can see our gasket's completely gone.
Oh, the gasket's still there.
I mean, it's there, but it's not gonna hold for sure. So
It doesn't even look like the right gasket. Like there's spots right
Yeah.
here, spaces right here.
yeah, I don't know what this guy's got going on here, but that's the top. And we just disconnected our last cable. We
There's
think.
one more.
Oh, is that
spring.
a
It's a return spring.
cotter pin or something?
No, it's just a return spring.
Alright, boys. Well, here it is right here. Let's go take it in the garage so we can get a better look at it.
Jets are clogged up and not shooting any fuel. It's not going to drain the bowl. So I think that's why.
This thing is so dirty, dude. Oh my gosh. Check inside those cylinders. Can you see?
Yeah.
That's so freaking dirty, guys.
Oh, wow.
God dang, that's dude. Dropped out of my dang hand.
I don't know if I got that or not. I was literally about to stop recording too.
It's good. It's good. Well, what I was gonna say, why would I just drop this dang thing? Hey, this is old. This is old timey stuff. You could drop it off a skyscraper. It's still gonna work. I'm just gonna spray this thing down initially, just to see where we're at. You know, just to get an initial little spray down. Because we can't even see what we're working with yet. An initial little spray down.
That's why he bought 5 things to brake clean.
This is carb cleaner, but I bought 3 of these. Oh crap. What's that crap? Now we can kind of see what we're working with here.
Throw it on the ladder.
So now we can see what parts we need to take off. I think we got to unscrew this bolt. It will showcase our jets.
Oh, there's the 2 jets right there. You can see. Yeah, if you
Yep.
take off that, you can see.
Oh yeah, dude, I should just, yeah, I'm gonna take this off and spray some carb cleaner right down those things. So we got the float out. Check out all the contaminants we're finding inside of this carburetor, guys. My wife's on the way to go grab 2 gallons of diesel. We're just gonna set it in that old mop bucket. And diesel, I just looked, it's fine for these old carburetors. It's just like I suspected, so we're just gonna use diesel to let this thing sit in, probably overnight, and hopefully clean it up pretty good. But first we're gonna take it all the way apart. The jets, show them the jets with that, now that we cleaned them up, but the jets wouldn't even shoot any carb clean before. Now they're shooting carb clean right out of them, so we'll go from the other way like you were. There you go. There we go. See how they're shooting straight out now? Before they weren't even shooting at all.
just trying to get a bunch of carb clean in there to break up that gunk.
Oh yeah. But all right, guys, check back over here in a minute. That's the update. Again, this is a 330 V8 on a F-600 1976 Ford. See you in a minute. So it's a couple days later. Our rebuild kit for our carburetor just showed up. Our carburetor, I'm looking at it right now, has been sitting in diesel for 2 days, and we come pop the hood and check this out, guys. Our fuel line has been steadily dripping fuel for the past 2 days, I guess.
Yeah.
Good Lord, man. So we got to clean this up. We'll show you the rebuild kit in this video, but this video is getting really long, so we're going to catch you guys up in the next video. The next video will be uploaded probably tomorrow, so make sure you guys hit your push notifications. But what we got, I'll show you. Master cylinder, a new float, and looks like everything we need is going to be in this rebuild kit, so I'm pretty excited about that. We'll show you the carburetor that's been sitting in diesel, then we'll end this video out because it's getting really long, and I don't want to post a 30-minute long video and bore you guys, but the truck did start up in this video, so at least we got that. All this junk should come off fairly easy now that's been sitting for a couple days in diesel. Oh yeah, this stuff's gonna clean up really good, guys. You can already tell. Should be very easy to clean it now with some carb cleaner. As soon as we shoot carb cleaner out this thing now, it should just immediately dissolve all those nasty pieces and gunks. Yeah, it's just coming off with my finger right now, so we're good there, boys. But we are getting set up right now to rebuild the carburetor. We're already setting the platform up. Stay tuned for the next video to see the rebuild of the carburetor, the master cylinder going on, and hopefully the first drive with Fat Tony. Stay tuned, guys. Thanks for staying all the way to the end. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.